In 2007, there was an 8.0 earthquake in Peru. It was right off the coast of Pisco, a small village where my wife was born. The damage was quite extensive, both to the Pisco area as well as Ica, which is an hour drive south. Many lives were lost. My wife and I retired in 2009, a few years later, and we wanted to give back. With the earthquake damage so devastating of a few years ago and so slow to recover and rebuild, this is where we thought we would focus. In Ica province, there's a district called San Juan Bautista, which is about a half hour north of the urban area of Ica and received a large amount of damage from the earthquake and was pretty slow to recover since it's a village of farm workers who have little to rebuild with. In this village, we were granted a strategically located piece of property right in the village square, directly across from a community courtyard that we can use, and as well as the plaza where everybody congregates, and the old Catholic church, which was built in 1779 that was totally destroyed in the earthquake. The property we were granted was only 24 feet wide, but 450 feet long. My wife felt called to do something with this property due to the earthquake damage, the people, and the lack of spiritual guidance in the village. It took us a few years of travel and evangelism trips to the area to determine what to do with the property. We had many times come with Bibles, clothing, toys, evangelism, prayer, and spent 2010, 2011 doing planning, outreach, legal, and engineering work. In 2012, we cleared the property, getting ready to build. There's much we could tell you about how God showed us through the 3 years of building how He had us right where He wanted us. Even when we only had the first floor completed in 2013, we opened the mission, and we started having wonderful results with weekly church services and youth outreaches being held there. We were not quite yet where we planned to be, but we were through prayer and His guidance where God wanted us to be. The primary volunteers for these weekly events at the mission came from a great church body in Ica, 1/2 hour south of us at El.A.M.A. Comunidad. Pastor Martin Laos and his wife Cody, we built a very strong relationship with over these last 5 years. It took us 2 more years to nearly complete the 3 floors. All during this time, we were having outreaches, weekly children Bible studies, and an adult church service. Also, in late 2014, we started a partnership with Awanza in Spanish, to expand on youth meetings via an official program that worked in the USA and international. Our mission regular children grew to about 45. In 2015, we accomplished a lot, mostly finishing up both the upper floors. We then welcomed Julio and Yoreni Sanchez and their daughter Cecilia as our resident missionaries to live in the mission and manage it. They arrived in October of 2015, and we had a month to introduce them to the villagers. And then we left them to operate on their own. Before leaving, we went shopping for Christmas gifts for our Awanza youth, leaving all the gifts with the Sanchez's and the Awanza volunteer staff from Ica to give out. Upon returning to the USA, we had a meeting with someone who wanted to donate to help 500 kids. Well, we only had 45, but we knew of a lot more unchurched around us. We worked with the local civic leadership in the village to accomplish a census of most of the surrounding area, coming up with about 400 more children, not counting a very large village to our immediate north where we knew there was yet another 400 or 500. We don't know how the funds and gifts did it, but we were, through this effort, able to reach up to 900 total unchurched children in the immediate walking distance from the mission. A very large effort that made a very special impact for Christmas to a great number of very poor children who have so little. The mission has had an impact, and far more people now know of it. We returned to the mission this year in February. The Sanchez's have been having very successful Bible study programs held at individual residences. A great deal of evangelism has been accomplished since their many months there. They're now asking for help. There's just so much to do. After a full 2 years of youth ministry, we had many kids that have grown past the 12th year of where Awanza no longer offer them a program. Although the Sanchez's are looking into expanding either Awanza or other programs for the upper ages, those graduates became volunteers to assist at the mission. We've had some great visitations from churches in the U.S., from both the East and West Coast, and we hope to attract even more since the interaction with the mission children is so well received. In August, we have a large group from San Diego going down to teach knitting and crocheting skills to the local villagers. In November, another group is planning a trip. We just had a large YWAM, Youth with a Mission, group spend 4 days with the children, blessing the teenagers a great deal. At the same time, our resident missionaries are taxed to the limit and are also asking for additional help from more long-term missionaries. There's a great need for women's ministry, one for men, singles, parents, children, skills transfer, teaching English, unwed mothers, etc. We're helping some children with shoes without which they can't attend school, with eyeglasses that they can't afford, with some orthodontics for the most needy. We are helping with some building needs, a home that had a wall collapse, another to bring a toilet inside, another that needs some interior walls, and more. This project is where God wants it. We've had so many signals to that end. We move forward as He directs and pray for the support as He finds to bring to us. And we move to touch those that He puts in our path. Please pray for us. Consider sending missionaries, sponsoring them, joining them, supporting the needs of the mission. There are so many blessings that we have witnessed, while also seeing so much need to be fulfilled. God bless you. It takes a village. In His name.
We are on the water tower. There's a mission.